Hey everybody, in this video, I'm going to be showing you how to sell final expense Facebook leads through a text message. Now, hopefully you're generating these leads on your own, which I've shown you how to do in my channel. My name is Justin Vom Eigen, and I've made over $1 million selling final expense life insurance 100% over the phone. And I'm going to show you guys how you can do the same thing. That's my goal of this channel, and I'm not going to try to recruit you. So the reason why I'm making this video is because one of the most frustrating things I ran into when I started generating leads after I figured out how to work the ads and everything else was getting people to answer the phone. And I realized that there were a lot of people who fill out lead forms who just simply do not answer the phone. Now, I started running these leads about 4 years ago. So it's crazy to see how many people over time have actually increased the amount of like their technological know-how. And a lot of our clientele is actually texting now, when even 4 years ago, not as many of them were texting. I've also found that YouTube leads for final expense, a lot of them have iPhones. Most of them actually have iPhones. And I know that because when I type in my phone, when I type their number, it comes up blue. So what am I getting at here? Well, I am starting to text leads a lot. I've actually been doing it for a while, and I wanted to make a video showing you guys how to do it, because what it's going to help you do, it's going to help you capitalize on those people who don't answer the phone simply because they don't talk to strangers over the phone, or they don't want to answer a random phone call right off the bat. So it's important for you guys to maximize on your ROI. So after watching this video, you should be able to drastically increase your conversions and be able to sell final expense Facebook leads over a text message. So before I get right into showing you exactly the scripting that I use to sell it, and I'll show you an actual sale that I brought the client through with a text message, I want to get into a little bit of the background of why this is important. Now, it's very counterintuitive in sales to just give your clients all the information because you think, hey, maybe they'll just take it and go shop it somewhere else or something like that. But the thing is, if you don't give your clients what they want, they're going to go get it from someone else anyway, and they're not going to buy from you anyway. Okay, so be transparent, be open and honest, get on common ground with them. Understand that, look, I wouldn't answer a random phone call. So if they're not going to answer a random phone call, it's totally okay. That's probably normal. It's actually weird if people answer everybody who calls them. Now, you're going to increase the amount of people who answer when they fill out a lead form simply by calling the lead as soon as it fills out as soon as the form is filled out. So as soon as you get that notification that you have a new lead, you want to call them right away. But if you call them and they don't answer at any time, then we're going to walk you through right here how you can actually text your leads to capitalize on those conversions. So without further ado, I'm going to be getting into the scripting here, and I'm going to walk you guys through why it works and what you say. Here, I'm going to just start this. What this is a video that shows you the whole walkthrough of the scripting that I use, and you guys can take time, pause this video, write down these words and the verbiage, save it on your phone, whatever you want to do. But I start off, I called this woman, Rita here, and she didn't answer right away. So I texted her. And all I said was this. I said, "Hi, Rita. My name is Justin. I'm just reaching out to get you the information you requested on the state-approved burial programs. You saw a commercial on YouTube. Would you prefer we communicate via text, email, or phone call?" Now, this is with a YouTube lead, but it's the same thing. It's someone going on social media, seeing an ad, they fill out a form, and they send it in. So you can use this. I use this on my final expense Facebook leads and final expense YouTube leads. This was just one. The first one I found, it was a YouTube lead. Works the same exact way. So I said, would you prefer we communicate via text, email, or phone call? Now I gave them the option. So most agents would just go and say, hey, what time can you take a call? Or are you available to talk? Or I'd love to get you the information. Can we set up a call? Most people don't want to do that. They want to get as much information they can in the shortest amount of time possible without having any interaction with any human being at all. That's the goal, because they're scared if they talk to you, maybe the last insurance agent they talked to treated them improperly. Maybe they don't think they can qualify. Maybe they thought that the rates were too crazy on the last program that they looked at. There's a bunch of reasons. Maybe they say, look, I'm a sucker for a sale. If I talk to this person, I'm going to end up buying from them. So there are a variety of reasons why they would be shying away from answering the phone. The biggest of all being, one, I don't answer random calls from strangers. So she says, hi, I usually don't answer calls I don't know. Texting is fine. So I give them the option, okay? I'm curious about funeral coverage, but how much does it cost? So immediately, we know that it's about cost with this person, but it's not. So we're going to do the best we can throughout this to get them switching from cost focus to benefit focus. Okay, everybody you call at first, the most 90% of people are going to be focused on the cost, but you have to do what you can to get them focused on the benefit. Now, this is a lot easier to do in a phone conversation. So you're going to want, at any point, if you see the opportunity to have a phone call with them, jump on it. A great time to do this is maybe if they're confused about something, or there's a question that is really hard to answer over a text message. You can send them a voice message, or be like, hey, you know what? I'm going to give you a call. It'll just take a couple minutes to explain that. It's really hard for me to do it over a text message, then give them a call. But I said, worries. I meant to say no worries. I don't answer random numbers either. So immediate agreement. Hey, I understand. First rule of selling. So the whole time here, I've been trying to get in agreement with her. That's the whole point. Get in agreement. Get on common ground. Okay? So I'm like, hey, obviously she doesn't want to answer a random phone call. That's why she didn't answer. She literally just filled out the form. She didn't answer. So I said, hey, would you prefer we communicate via text, email, or phone? Because I know she's not going to want to answer a phone call right away. Get on common ground. Most important thing in sales, get on common ground. Is it okay if I ask you a few questions to figure out the rates of the program you qualify for? She says, sure. So get on common ground, completely understanding with her, and make her feel like she's in control. Okay? I made her feel like she's in control, and she kind of is. Do you want to talk with text? Great. Is it okay if I ask you some questions to figure out what we qualify for? Okay? Always ask for permission, because she's saying, I want information. Okay, is it okay I ask you some questions so I can get you that information? I'd love to do that. Yes. Okay, cool. And then we are going to go here. Okay, the questions. So I ask, how tall are you? How much do you weigh? So I would write these down, guys. Make templates for yourself so that you can just copy and paste this when you're sending it to your clients, your prospects. How much do you weigh? Do you use tobacco? Do you have any heart, liver, kidney, or lung issues? And do you have a history of any cancer, heart attack, stroke, COPD, or diabetes? Okay. So, experienced a mild stroke this past May. I'm fine. Okay, and how tall are you? Do you use tobacco? Now, I could have been a little bit more empathetic here. I could have said, oh, I did right here. Okay. Okay, and how old are you? Do you use tobacco? No. So, she still shied away from telling me how old she was. I had it on the lead form. I was just too lazy to look. So, what I ask here is just some health questions. All right? Hey, what are your health questions, or what's your health look like, so I can find what you qualify for, right? This is the only way we can quote the plan. Okay. Okay, so next she says, never used tobacco. I did a thumbs up. Say, okay, well, I'm glad you made it through your stroke. Okay. Not everyone can say that. So if someone tells you that they have a serious health issue, always give them empathy, praise, or hope if they've made it through it, and empathy that they've had it. And then if they say that they're perfectly healthy, I would always commend them on that too. Be like, wow, that's incredible. Most people I don't speak with are as healthy as you. I'm going to have to take some tips from you for sure. So she says, yes, it wasn't something that was damaging. Okay, so it wasn't something that was damaging. And then lastly, how old are you? She's 70 as of last August 19, 1952. Are you done? So I actually took a break from this. I had to eat. And I remember I had just went on a long drive, and I came back and was texting her. Okay, so I said, sorry, I just finished eating. Oh, hold on. I got to go back here. Sorry, I just finished eating. What do you want this insurance to cover? Funeral, cremation, something else. Then she says, cremation. I don't want to put a monthly fee at a cemetery on my kids. For sure, I understand that. So if she said, just say cremation, I would make sure to ask a probing question. Be like, okay, and who would be receiving this money when you pass? Would that be your, and you can ask for a name, or you can say, would that be your spouse or children or someone else? And say children. Say, okay, what would they do without a program like this? Where would they come up with the money? So that's going to initiate some emotions in them, because they're going to be thinking, I don't know what they would do with it. It's going to create urgency, okay? So for sure, I understand that, agree. So about $5,000 would take care of it. I shouldn't have said that, to be honest. I should have. You can. I mean, that's an agreement. That makes sense to them. But 5 to 10,000, she actually increased it for me to take care of any bills. So she goes, I used to think that cremation meant you would not be while in heaven, but both my parents were cremated, and after my dad died, he was a smoker, and in my home, I smelled cigarettes and knew immediately it was my dad. Found out later that my niece had a similar experience. 5 to 10K to cover any bills, etc. So I don't want to spend the client's money for them. So this was actually a mistake that I made. I think it was a mistake because I don't want to spend their money for them. So what I think a cremation would make sense to spend on a cremation, she may not. She may think that she wants to have more. Okay, so don't spend your client's money for them. And then I replied to her story. I said, wow, that's pretty interesting that you say that because my mom was cremated and she loved red cardinals. Shortly after she passed, a red cardinal started hanging out on a tree outside my window every morning. I knew it was her. That's a true story. My mom loved red cardinals, and when she passed, there was a red cardinal that used to hang outside the window. So always it's good, too, to share a little story with someone to show similarity. Don't make something up, but share a little story to show some similarity. Now, all I did here is I went into the rate quoter, and I gave options for 5,000, 7,000, and 10,000. I could have started higher, but the thing is, when texting, it's kind of easier for someone to get scared away and not reply anymore. So I gave her the options of what she was asking. And she says, I live in an apartment in no house. Those are the rates for a program for you. The rates never change. So here what I'm doing is I'm doing a little presentation summary of what the features are in the plan. If you're terminally ill, you can get the death benefit before you pass. I spelled that wrong. They are based on a small, affordable whole life insurance program. Which of those is best for you? The top number is the coverage amount. The bottom is the monthly premium. So it was just how the quoter worked. She's the 7,000. Yes, and I would say, okay, great choice. That will leave your kids enough money to take care of your arrangements so they won't have to worry about it. Good thing they are increasing SSI so much. LOL, hearted it. Would you like to see if you can qualify? So would you want to apply, or do you want to buy it, or is that one okay with you? Would you like to see if you can qualify? Okay, it's more inviting than saying would you want to apply. Application gets feelings of payment, stuff like that. So would you like to see if you can qualify? Sure. Just so you know, I have a life insurance policy that's paid off now. It's a small one of $2,000. Pay through a different policy for Social Security. Wow, awesome. Mind if I give you a call from my work phone? It will only take a few minutes and I'll be out of your hair. Haha. So I say that as a joke. All right? To kind of make something that's confrontational less confrontational. So I diffuse the potential sell by adding a joke in there. Comedy works really, really well. Everybody watching this. So if you find yourself in a situation where you're going to say something to a client that they may put resistance up again, if you say a joke in there and get them to laugh, it knocks down that resistance. And I say, okay, calling now. So that's really all that I did there for that. And you guys can do the same thing. It's super simple. Now, there have been plenty of people I've texted who didn't sell, but there are plenty of people who I've texted who have bought. You can use that same template for people who are, maybe you've called them a bunch of times. You want to follow up with your clients the same way. So even if you've presented to someone and they haven't purchased yet, you can follow up with them with the same exact system there, the same exact template. You can use those same things. So I recommend that if you didn't write those things down, go back through this video, write down the exact scripting that I use. My email is jve@thejbe.com. If you have a question about certain things to say to a client, a prospect, please email me and ask me if it's something good to say. If you have a question about it, and I'll give you my personal feedback on it. I'm not the end-all, be-all here, but my goal is to help you sell more final expense life insurance over the phone. Before you can sell them with a text message, though, or with a phone call, it starts with generating your own leads so that you're not getting crushed by the taxes and the extra money that lead vendors throw on top of it. So if you want to generate your own leads on Facebook or YouTube by yourself, what you're going to want to do is watch the next videos coming up because your $1 million journey starts in these next videos.